know that I would be sharing, but I'm sharing with you one poem from the cc&d issue collection book called Insurrection, which totally seems like an appropriate title as we're approaching a presidential election coming up, where I've got the Capitol building and I've got a bunch of hands that talk about, desperate, I'm feeling exploited, desperation. There are all these words in here and about protests and wanting to fight, and how there's so much debate about an insurrection that went on at the Capitol building on January 6th, 4 years ago. But anywho, I'm going to share one poem from this book. It is the only time I'm going to share anything from this book. This is it. This is it. You guys are all going to hear it. It is one poem of mine that I read at every single reading in Chicago, because it is a poem that appears in the poetry book, The Universe is in Your Hands. I have 2 poems about Chicago in it. This is one of them. It's short. I love it. I don't know if anybody else would, and so because of that, I'm going to share this one poem with you that is in both of these books, and I hope you like it. It's called Big Shoulders. This was her home. This poet went to Carl Sandburg High, but her friend Brian lived further south. And one summer day, she sat in his car as he excitedly told her he wanted to show her something. As she didn't know where they were going, her tension mounted as his anticipation grew, driving her farther south and east than either one of their high schools. Now, remember, this was back in the day when Tinley Park was not congested and there were still abandoned blocks before the town was under construction and ugly buildings littered the landscape. Brian finally pulled over, told her to get out of the car, and they walked through gravel until trees parted at one small spot along the horizon. He stopped. "Stop. Look over there," he said, as he pointed his fingers to a tiny space between the trees. This poet from Carl Sandburg High saw the skyline of downtown Chicago with high-rises glistening like diamonds in the rough. This Chicago skyline was just south of where Carl Sandburg once lived. This poet smiled, stared a while, and made the decision right then and there that this was her destination. This was where she was meant to be. She was not there yet, but this stormy, brawling city of big shoulders, this was her home. Short and sweet. I just love that one. And I actually went to Carl Sandburg High School, which was just the mind-blowing thing that I happened to go there. They're like, "Oh, you can go skip ahead in school, Janet, although you'll go to a different school." And I'm like, I'm hated enough at this one, I'm going to stay with this one, and that allowed me to go to Carl Sandburg High School. I have no idea, but I just thought it was like beautifully ironic that I'm doing poetry and stuff, and I can at least say that I went to Carl Sandburg High School, but why not? So there was my short, sweet one, and the only time you will ever hear anything from me out of the book Insurrection, which is a cc&d issue collection book of the May through August 2024 issues. It is one poem that appears not only in Insurrection, but also in The Universe is in Your Hands. Now, we have gone over a bit because, well, we started a bit late because we're all chit-chatting and talking about shows and stuff going on. So I hope everyone was cool with this evening. I had a wonderful time, and I want to thank each and every one of you for sticking it out. Thank all the people who had to leave early, because it was wonderful to hear as many voices as possible. I'm getting thumbs up and the happiness calls from everybody. The first, I don't have, because I'm doing a live feed, hello everyone, because I'm doing a live feed, I don't know what the first Sunday in November is, but I will send it out in an email to everybody on the list, and I will create an event page for it for everyone, so everybody will be super apprised of when it is. And I think we all talked about stuff beforehand, but if anybody has anything else to say, all I can say is thank you guys all so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing each and every one of you, from reading poetry to sharing bits of short stories to singing songs, just, showing your creativity. You get some creative license here, poetic license. Thank you all so much, and I will talk to you guys. Thank you all. Thank you. I will talk to you all soon. Thank you.